Green River serial killer. This name may be new to you, but this name was once another name of terror for Americans. His hobby was to kill girls. His lust was so much that he used to sleep with dead bodies of girls. He was so bitter that he forgot himself. How many people has he made his victim? So who exactly was this Green River serial killer? Why was he named Green River serial killer? How did he manage to escape from the police for years? How was he caught? And after all, this is a why did you become a serial killer? Let's know everything in a sequential manner. You will be shocked to know the whole story in this video. Before moving ahead, please subscribe to the Crime Diaries channel and press the bell icon. So, let's start the story now. Green River serial. The crime of the killer starts from the year 1982. On July 15, 1982, suddenly people see a dead body floating in the Green River flowing through Seattle City of America. Immediately, the police is informed. Investigation reveals that this dead body was a 16-year-old girl. Wendy Lee is found in the field. The girl's post-mortem report reveals that the girl was first brutalized and then murdered. The police now start searching for the murderer. Many days pass, but the police were still empty-handed, and the police had not been able to do anything in this case. That exactly 1 month later, i.e. on August 15, 1982, 3 dead bodies were recovered from this river. The age of these 3 dead girls were 17 years, 23 years, and 31 years. The post-mortem report reveals that all 3 were murdered in the same manner in which the first girl was murdered. That is, all 3 were brutally assaulted, and then the girls were killed by strangulation and breaking their necks. The police had not even been able to solve the chain of these deaths when between October 8, 1982 and November 7, 1982, bodies of 3 more girls were found in the areas around the same river. This news created an uproar in the entire state. Police administration, they start searching vigorously for the murderer, but no clue of the murderer is found anywhere. Despite there being no concrete evidence, the police take dozens of suspects into their custody and interrogate them, but do not get any success. One of the suspects taken into custody was Gary Ridgway. The reason for taking him into custody was that the family of a girl claimed that the truck in which they last saw the murdered girl boarding was the same truck the next morning. The samples of all the suspects, including Ridgway, were standing outside Ridgway's house. The samples of all the suspects, including Ridgway, are matched with the semen samples recovered from the vaginas of the murdered girls and other evidence. But the samples of any of the suspects do not match with the samples collected from the victim's body. All the suspects are released, but who knew at that time that one of the suspects whom the police was freeing from their hands was the murderer of all these girls and was going to cause the death of dozens of girls in the future? This suspect was Gary Ridgway. Ridgway was born on February 18, 1949 in Utah, USA. His father was a bus driver. In 1969, he completes his graduation degree and at the same time marries his school girlfriend. Shortly after this, he joins the American Navy, after which he is sent to fight on behalf of America in the Vietnam War. In Vietnam, he starts spending most of his time with the workers. Apart from this, he also misbehaves with his wife. Due to this, his marriage breaks within a year. He marries a girl named Marcia Lorraine Brown for the second time in 1973. This marriage somehow keeps progressing, but it also finally breaks in 1981. The biggest reason for the breakup of the marriage was that Ridgway still used to go to the workers whenever he got time and also treated his wife very cruelly. In 1981, Ridgway's second marriage also ended, and after this, from 1982 he became involved in crime. As we told in the beginning of the video, he starts killing girls one after the other. The first murder he committed was that of a 16-year-old girl on July 15, 1982. After this, many more dead bodies were found in the same river. Are recovered, but the police fail to reach Ridgway. Although in 1982 itself, the police takes Ridgway into custody as a suspect, but at that time no charges can be proved against him because at that time the technology of DNA profiling was not as good as today. Because there was no advance, the samples collected from the bodies of the murdered girls could not be matched with Ridgway's DNA sample, and he was left out. All the dead bodies found till now had one thing in common, that most of them were women and girls. Some of the girls who were killed were those who had run away from home after fighting with their parents or had been thrown out by their family members because already the workers were continuously being killed in mysterious ways. Hence the police were now trying to reach the murderer. She also starts keeping an eye on the workers. Meanwhile, one day the policemen see that Ridgway is badly involved in a fight with a worker and is trying to kill him. Seeing this action of Ridgway, the policemen immediately arrest him. He is taken into custody and interrogated. Even considering the murdered girls as suspects, he is given a polygraph test, but he manages to dodge the polygraph test and the police are forced to release him. After being released, Ridgway continued to kill girls as before. After killing most of the girls, he used to throw them in the Green River or its surrounding areas. The police found only dead bodies. There was no sign of the murderer anywhere. Didn't know. That's why this unknown murderer is named Green River Serial Killer by the media. The reason behind giving this name was that the dead bodies of 5 consecutive girls were found in the Green River and most of the dead bodies were found in the areas surrounding this river. In the next few years, the number of girls who died had increased to more than a dozen. But till now the police had no trace of the killer. On the other hand, Killer Ridgway used to work as a painter in a truck factory after retiring from the U.S. Navy. He was so vicious that he used to work in a factory during the day and go out on the hunt for girls as soon as the evening falls. If further revelations are to be believed, Ridgway murdered more than 15 girls between 1982 and 1990, but till now the police are unable to catch him. While committing crimes behind the scenes, in 1985 he starts dating a woman named Judith Mawson and then marries her in 1988. Despite having this wife, he continues to work as a worker as per tradition. When the process of finding dead bodies does not stop, the government forms the Green River Task Force just to catch this one serial killer. This task force is also very active. When the task force does not seem to be getting any success, a list of suspects is prepared once again and then all the suspects are called to cooperate in the investigation. Ridgway's name was once again included among the arrested suspects. After the initial interrogation on April 7, 1987, Ridgway's hair and saliva samples were collected by the police, although even at this time the police did not get much success from this sample. And Ridgway continues to roam free and kill as per his wish. In the midst of all this, the year 2001 comes and Ridgway has already committed more than 50 murders. On the other hand, the samples which the police had collected on April 7, 1987, are the same. It is decided to once again do DNA profiling of the sample with the help of the latest technology. Compared to 1980, the technology of DNA profiling had developed a lot by 2001, when around 2001, DNA testing of the sample collected in 1987 was once again done. In fact, Ridgway's DNA matches with the DNA of semen recovered from the vaginas of 3 girls killed in 1982. Not only this, the neck of the first girl who was killed in 1982, but there was a cloth wrapped around it. There was a special kind of paint on that cloth. After matching the DNA sample of Ridgway, that paint is matched with the paint of the factory where Ridgway used to work. This paint also matches. Now the police had strong evidence against Ridgway. It was clear that Ridgway was the murderer of all the girls who had died so far. After this, the police went to the local court and got an arrest warrant issued against Ridgway, and then on November 30, 2001 Ridgway is arrested when he was leaving work from a truck factory in Washington. Now Ridgway's entire truth was revealed to the police, but in order to escape, he denied all the charges against him. Nakata continues, but this time the police do not fall prey to his trickery and continue the process of interrogation with utmost care. Many months pass in this manner, but Ridgway does not confess to his crime. However, there comes a time when Ridgway uses his evil mind and makes a deal with the police. He says that he will confess to all his crimes and will give all the information related to each case to the police, but in return he wants a guarantee that he will be hanged by the court. Ridgway's demand that he will not be punished is accepted by the administration. After this, the revelations that Ridgway makes are shocking. Ridgway tells that he had committed the first murder in 1982. After which he carried out many murders continuously and the dead body was recovered. Initially, Ridgway says that he does not remember exactly how many murders he has committed. Yet according to his estimates, he tells the police that the number of victims could be between 70 to 91. Later, it was claimed in different media reports that the number of victims could be from 100 to 150. During this interrogation, Ridgway makes another revelation which was heart-wrenching. He tells that he killed most of the girls for the sake of having a relationship. But there were many girls with whom Ridgway had physical relations after killing. Not only this, when after committing a murder, He did not find the next girl for several days. Then he returned to the forest to find the dead body of the same girl. Initially, the post-mortem report also mentioned that many of the bodies were forced to die. After the revelations made by Ridgway, the police were able to trace 48 confirmed victims. The police contacts all their families and pursues legal proceedings. After the revelations, a total of 48 murder cases are registered against Ridgway. During the investigation itself in 2001, Ridgway's 49th confirmed victim was killed. It is also known that after the entire court proceedings, finally Ridgway is sentenced to a total of 48 life imprisonment for 48 different murders. It may seem strange to you, but the American court has sentenced Ridgway to a total of 480 years of life imprisonment. It is said that the sentence of 10 years was for destroying the evidence. Not only this, it is also written in the decision by the court that as long as Ridgway remains alive, he will not get parole for even 1 day or 1 hour. That is, he will never go to jail in his life. Will not be able to go out? Perhaps you might be thinking that the person who committed such a heinous crime should have been given death penalty. But if you remember, we told a little while ago in the video that Ridgway had demanded in return for confessing his crime, that he will not get the death sentence only if he cooperates in the police investigation. That is why he did not get the death sentence. Although Ridgway did not get the death sentence, his life imprisonment is worse than the death sentence because of the manner in which he was sentenced to death. He has been sentenced to life imprisonment, which can be said to be worse than death. If we talk about the condition of Ridgway at present, then according to the reports, at present his age is 73 years. He has been kept in a jail where he can neither sleep nor sleep. Ridgway cannot see the light of day nor can see the light of day. For 23 hours out of 24 hours, Ridgway has to be confined alone in the cell behind the bars. He is taken out of the bars only for 1 hour out of 24 hours. Usually he comes out only then. When he has to meet a lawyer or the policeman have to get his signature on the papers related to the case, sometimes he is kept confined like that for several weeks. Food and drinks are given to him from a distance. After his arrest in 2001, he also gets divorced from his third wife in 2002. Now the biggest question is that how did an ordinary boy become such a dreaded serial killer? After all, why did he hate workers and girls so much? It is important to understand Ridgway's childhood. According to the reports, Ridgway was born in a family where the family environment was not good. In the beginning, I told you that Ridgway's father was a bus driver, so Ridgway's father often took cess workers home with him. Many a times he used to bring money and was also caught with a laborer. Due to this, there were constant fights between his parents. Due to this fight, Ridgway and his siblings did not get a good upbringing and he spent his childhood in a very difficult environment. Apart from this, Ridgway had a habit of wetting the bed in his childhood. Even when Ridgway was 12 years old, he used to urinate while sleeping on the bed, due to which his mother used to beat him badly. According to the reports, when Ridgway used to urinate on the bed, his mother used to bathe him for a long time even in extreme cold. Since there were often fights between the parents because of the workers, due to this Ridgway started hating the workers very much. Because of the beating, Ridgway also started hating his mother. With time, this hatred increased so much that he started killing workers. During the police investigation, Ridgway also told that when he used to kill a worker, he used to get a lot of satisfaction. Apart from this, when he killed a woman, he felt that he was killing his mother. This gave him pleasure. According to Ridgway, he felt that he was taking revenge on his mother for his childhood. Due to the murders committed by Ridgway and his revelations, he has been declared the second most dreaded serial killer in the history of America. Many films have been made on his brutality. Friends, do you agree with the punishment given to this dreaded serial killer or no? Do tell us in the comment box. If you liked our hard work, then like this video and also share it. If you have not yet subscribed to the Crime Diaries channel, then quickly subscribe the channel and also press the bell icon. From the world of crime, stay connected with us for such related stories. Thanks.